hey, how can a dealership sell a car for 99 cents or $1 or $100? Welcome to the Kunes Collective podcast. Marcos and my co-host Sandee. Hey, Black Friday's coming around the corner. We talked about it at one point. It would seem far away, and just like everything else seems far away, and all of a sudden it's not that far away.
It's right around the corner.
Do you have any good Black Friday experiences? Are you a doorbusters kind of person, or?
Yeah, I mean it's like I said before, the atmosphere is different. You know, it just everybody knows it's crazy. You know, we're gonna open up at 6 a.m. At least our store is.
At 6?
Yeah, 6 o'clock. So
Whoa.
I'm sure there's gonna be people like years ago where I think there was about 10 people we had out front. But people know that, so we're gonna have all the cars lined up, running, you know, with all the disclosures on them and all that stuff. So. I think we did it last year where when you came in, you got like a ticket or like a number. You know, it's how our store does it, where it's like kind of like first come, first serve. So the first 5 people in line get a ticket, and then that first person gets to walk, you know, out on the lot, look at them, and get the first pick. If they're not ready, they go to the back of the line, and the number 2 person gets to go and look, find something they want. If they like it, then they grab that one.
Okay, so there is a benefit to being the first one there.
Yeah.
You get the first person there gets the first shot. So is there's got to be a time limit on it, right?
We did it. I think it was like 5 minutes when we did it last time.
I was going to say, because you have a bunch of people waiting.
Yeah, and usually those first 3 to 5 people are all on that $99 car or that whatever, that $1 car. So that's the one they're going after, and we're gonna have them all tagged up, and you know, this is the $99 one, this is the $3,000 one. So they're all gonna go for that first one, and if they like it, they're gonna say, "Yep, I want it. Let's do it." And then we walk them right in and write it up.
Do you have any cars from last year or previous years that stick in your head for, well, I can't believe I just sold that for X amount of dollars?
I think it was the Buick I did last year. That one stuck out.
That's right. You mentioned that.
Yeah, that was I think it was a $500 car. I think it was.
Yeah, I just, at first, I think the first year we did it, I think people didn't really, like, it just seemed like another Black Friday.
Well, they didn't expect it. They're like, well, you guys are open really early. Yeah, well, there's a catch. Here's why we're early, because look what we got. And then now it's catching on. People are starting, it's drawing attention now.
Yeah, the last couple of years, I think a lot of stores have had people camping out the night before or crazy.
That'd be cool to see. Well, you came in that one morning. What did you rolled by like at 11 at night? And
that's right. That was years ago.
Yeah.
We'll see if for the short we can throw the video up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was I can't remember his name. But yeah, the kid came in. He bought a Pontiac G6. I do remember that.
And one of their family members came in. Didn't they, like somewhere like between like around midnight? You said they live right in Elkhorn, but they brought like a little
Dad came
space
in.
heater up.
Dad came in to hang out and give moral support. Yeah, I was on my way home from Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think there's a person camping out there. And that would have been when my oldest was a baby, and so I went and took him home, and then I ran back, and sure enough, and it worked out for him. You're right, first pick. I forgot that you get a token.
Yep.
Why not? So aside from cars, though, is there any other Black Friday stuff that you like to do Black Friday, or what do you think about Black Friday?
No, it's just, you know, obviously, you know, we like to draw a lot of buzz, you know, with the stores. You know, I always say balloons don't sell cars. That's my thing. But we'll balloon up the whole store. We get the popcorn going. It's just, you create that buzz. You know,
this makes it more fun.
Yeah, some of the stores will do like giveaways too, where you know, it's you buy a car, you get a TV. You buy a car, you get a grill or something like that. So sometimes we do stuff like that. But it's just more of the, you know, last year or the year before, Pete he was out there with a blowhorn saying, "Okay, first person in line." So it drew attention. Like, people were getting excited about it. So they were in to come buy a car, but it was more fun. It wasn't just, "Oh, I'm here at the dealership," you know, going through the process, you know.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah, as far as behind the scenes stuff too, I can't imagine what the big store, we obviously have stuff to get ready or whatnot, but we only have whatever 5, 10, 15 cars. I can't imagine like the big box stores. They have to be they probably already started prepping for this last month.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of those the big huge volume stores, I don't think they were doing it. I think some of the smaller stores, so to speak, like us, I think we started that. Now all these bigger stores are starting to catch on, because a lot of those bigger stores, all these those really $99 cars, the ones that are kind of beat up, they don't keep those cars. They just send it to auction. But now it's hey, they're noticing that these guys here had pretty good luck with it. even if you're not making a ton of money on them, we're still selling them, now you get a customer. So I think it's really spreading like wildfire. I've seen it on TikTok too. Last year was huge. Now you saw all these dealerships doing these and they were doing the same format. They're saying the first 5 people or 10 people in the door get a token or whatever you want to call it. And then they go out and get the look. And so they're all following suit, and each store is making it, they're making their own versions of it, which is fun.
And for cool to see. And for people out there maybe thinking, hey, how can a dealership sell a car for 99 cents or $1 or $100, 99, whatever the thing is? It's not like we stole it from somebody for 99 cents. The dealer's losing money to sell that car or that group of cars. But it's a different way of advertising, different way of marketing, where instead of giving that money to a radio station or a TV, nobody wants to see more of us or any dealership than they already do on TV or on the radio.
No, I think that's dead.
So instead of giving them more money, why wouldn't we find ways where we can give it right back to the customers so I think that's where a lot of people think, well, that can't be true. They can't sell a car for $100. Well, yeah, the car isn't worth $100, but that's what they chose to sell it for. And essentially they're using their advertising expense to pay for that.
That creates a client now, because maybe now that person that bought that car, they were happy that they walked away with a car for, with everything $1,000 out the door, right? Well, now they're talking to so and so about, hey, I went there and I got a car. Maybe their friend isn't looking for a $99 car. Maybe they actually can, maybe they're buying a $20,000 car. So now that just creates a lot of buzz.
For sure,
it's fun,
Something different's always good, because it seems like in the car world you see so much of the same thing over and over again.
It's archaic. We're doing different things. Yeah. And when other dealers, it's cool to see, especially at our group, where other stores start to catch on. You see all of our other stores doing it. Yep. Which is fun to see.
I do have a question. You being an Apple person, I've basically I've always been into phones. One of my first jobs ever was I'd buy phones off eBay, wait the month and a half, 2 months for them to ship here, and then I'd put them on market. Or back in the day, it was Craigslist.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because people would be willing to pay more for it if they could meet you in a Walmart parking lot and use it today. Because I just broke my phone. Nobody wants to wait 2 months on a phone from China,
right? Except
for me. But anyway, so I've played with a lot of different phones. I feel like Android has always had the leg up in one way or another. The new one, they have a new iPhone that came out,
17.
Yeah, and they're talking about how it's almost as good as some of the Androids out there.
But I almost got it. I have a 14 Pro Max. And I almost got the 17, but I didn't see, short of a better camera or a couple other things, it's not worth it at this time for me to do it. But
my girl Megan has a 10, and my boss Matt has a 6. Mm-hmm. So I do like the fact that is crazy that they still work after all that time.
Well, because they're just. I think Apple's better. Well, I prefer them.
You would, because you don't want to switch your stuff up.
Well, the Samsung, yes, I'll give it to them, where they'll come out with the newer tech as far as the newer glass or the newer a folding phone, they'll do that. But Apple, I think, is more consistent.
I think you have to tailor yourself to the iPhone, as where you can tailor the Android to be what you want it to be.
No, you can. Well, I can kind of see that. You can set up your widgets and everything on your screen and all that, but for me that's too much clutter, way too much. Where I notice it is when I'm pairing phones when I deliver a car. Because that's one of the things you have to do, because it's actually on a survey, at least with Jeep it is.
Sure.
But,
I think every manufacturer's like that.
And it's so easy regardless of your phone, I can pair a phone in 20 seconds.
Hey, and this is a message to all the salespeople out there. Pair your customers' phones. Oh my goodness. If you are not if your customer can't leave the dealership with knowing how their phone is going to interact with their vehicle, you are an absolute fail.
That's harsh. You know what though?
Tell me I'm wrong.
You know what though? With CarPlay and Android Auto, you'd want them to pair the phone, because instantly then they'll see look, it's cool when you see it pop up on the screen, because they go, oh look, my Pandora is there, my Waze is there.
All you have to do is
my
plug
iTunes
it
music.
in.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want, even if it
a
has
lot of
wireless.
stuff's wireless.
No, I'm saying even if it has wireless.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that all the time, because people would come back, I can't figure this out, and then I'd go out and be like, because I was a nice salesperson that I'd
He
stop
was all right. He's average.
I'd stop what I was doing and help the person that
Yeah.
whatever their salesperson's off and going. Their phone's not even paired. You know.
What's funny, you'll
it's
see
like-
you'll see someone pull up and they'll say, "Hey, can you help me with my phone?" And they didn't even buy the car from us. And
That's a tough
I'll
one.
ask them, "Where'd you buy your car?" "Oh, I bought it at so and so or so and so." And they said, "They didn't pay your phone?" "No, they didn't." And I was like, "Okay." And you'll see me do it, and they'll go, "That was it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's all you had to do." But it's back to what I was saying. Is
You're nicer than I am.
Yeah.
I pair phones for Kunes customers.
Back to what I was saying is pairing different phones at the different cars. I get to see all these different phones because it's funny because in addition to being car experts, we got to be phone software experts.
Right.
But it's the Samsungs I don't like because you got to just to go into the pairing. You got to there's so many sub menus you have to get to.
What are you talking about? You pull down.
I know I'm gonna
and
get a
you
lot
hold.
of flack at home. Is gonna
'Cause
be
you
like people
pull
are gonna be like,
down-
"Oh, this guy's not smart. He doesn't know how to work a phone."
I can get to the Bluetooth settings with my eyes closed. You literally pull down, and here's the thing. This is
Here,
what
settings, Bluetooth. I'm already on there.
watch settings. Bluetooth.
See now, hold on, that's different. Okay, well, whatever. It's
Here. So I hear I'll. You have a point here. I think one of
I have
the
many
issues.
points.
One of the issues with the Androids is they made Android available to so many different manufacturers that it's tough to control the quality of what's being put out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some manufacturers are going to nail. So, for example, I think Samsung and Google nail the menus, which I think Apple does a really great job of that too. They're easy to navigate, very intuitive. Apple's great for that. But the average person, if you don't do anything with your Samsung phone and you just leave all the factory installed like widgets and whatever, it could definitely look cluttered. I understand that for sure. But
too much clutter.
But anyway, yeah, salespeople pair your customers'
Pair your phones.
Sorry.
It's easy. It's I think with a lot of manufacturers, with all the surveys for new cars, that's actually one of the questions. And if the customer checks no, you can fail that survey.
Sure. Well, it's an important thing.
Yeah.
Everything revolves. Let's be real. The new vehicles, everything revolves around that. We talked about Apple CarPlay and Android Auto ditching, which may change things a little bit but still, I mean, people want to control. They want that phone integration.
That's kind of crazy, like how the car business to where we're at this point now. Before surveys were, did it have a full tank? And it still are those same questions.
Sure,
But
was
did
it
have a full
clean to
tank?
your
Was it clean?
expectations?
Now was it clean? And then it's like, did they set up your Apple CarPlay? Did they set up your Jeep app? Did they set up your? It's like now it's all the infotainment focused stuff that's more important on a survey.
Well, I think that's what they probably take focus groups, and that's what people value as far as part of the experience that they value. That's probably what they said is important
and it's
to them.
like not to go into the rabbit hole, like properly delivering a car, but there's so much tech on all these cars now.
Oh, for sure, even a base model.
Like I remember Judy was talking about on the other episode with Cadillac. There's so much tech in some of these Cadillacs too. So when you're delivering the car, it's not just making sure the car is clean and all that stuff, but there's a lot of tech that you have to really show a customer how to use. And they're spending 80, 90 grand. And I hate to see people where I've had people where they traded in their cars and they were 3 years old and I'll be messing around with it and they go, "I didn't know it had that. You drove this car for 3 years. You didn't know it had this ability, this ability." So really showing them how everything works. And that's, do the follow-up thing. After you do the initial, I'll tell my customers, "Hey, I'm going to show you enough just to get you going. But in about a week or two, I do want you to come back so we can, set aside some more time to really, focus on, the screen right here. Like, your mirrors and your seats and doing all that, that's basic stuff, right? But once you get comfortable, then let's focus on, voice prompts and stuff like that because you really, you spent a lot of money on this car. Really enjoy it, So.
For sure. Do you think that with AI, trying to get everyone pushing it to get integrated, whatever they're working on, right? They're trying to integrate AI into it. Do you think maybe that's an opportunity for the manufacturers to have like a true like virtual coach? Because let's be real, the Grand Wagoneer, right? If you got someone, how many do you know off the top of your head how many screens the Grand Wagoneer has?
6.
So, even if you did thoroughly explain just the infotainment system.
Actually 8 if you have the DVDs. But anyway.
All of them.
Yeah.
We'll say all of them. So, but even if you tell me it wouldn't take you at least an hour to go through just the infotainment system, right? So like, how much time can the manufacturers really? And I'll say this as a salesperson, former salesperson, always a salesperson. The manufacturers, how much time can they really expect a salesperson to spend going through the vehicle?
Well, on the Grand Wagoneer, my first one that I delivered, that was, oh man, that was a nightmare because with the rear DVD, it's not like the old school DVDs in cars where it was just a screen, you power it on and you slide the DVD in. Now it's because there's no DVD anymore. Well, some of them there are, but now you have to, at least with the Jeeps, it's Amazon based. So when you power up the screen, you have to first pair the remotes. So there's a process to pair the remote to the screens because you get 2 wireless remotes. And then you get wireless headphones with it. So you have to know how to pair those. Then you have to set up their Amazon account to be able to even access everything on the screen. So on the screens, you have Amazon, you have Netflix, you have all that. But you can't just click on the icon and start watching. You have to have your account set up. Even with, I know GMC too. Like they have all their screens in the back.
I think a lot of them use the Amazon TV as like the base.
So you can't just, all of a customer will click on Netflix and then nothing's happening. It's like, yeah, you have to link your account. So you have to link your Netflix. You have to link your Amazon. You have to link all this. Then you can do all that. So it's a process where I had to click activate on her account. She then got a text to her phone, her Apple, saying, here's a verification code. Then she had to click that verification code. Then it sent her an email to link her account. Then there were like 6 steps before we could actually have her kid go Netflix and watch. It wasn't as simple as, turn the screen on and there you go. You have to like 2-step, we all think the 2-step verification code is annoying. This is like 5-step, and they're all like that. All the systems are like that because it's linking your accounts, it's doing all that. And I don't think that's ever going to get more streamlined. That's just how it is, at least for now.
There's probably a salesperson out there crying right now. I didn't pair their phone because we started with the rear entertainment and we ran out of time.
That's how it always happens. It always happens.
Yeah, that does absolutely sound miserable. And I do remember even with the old, because even like on the Pacificas, right? Like it was an old system, but you still had to pair the headphones, right? Mm-hmm. And even just that alone was a pain in the butt. But I think that's one of those things where
and then find out, well, I have 3 kids. How come there's 2 wireless headphones? We got to buy another pair. But
yeah, or you just leave these 2 here and you just listen to it.
Exactly,
and nobody can fight over it.
I'm not going nowhere near. I'm just looking at a text from work.
Yeah, that never stops, huh?
Nope.
But yeah, I was just thinking that like with AI, just like basically being that like virtual assistant that we've always had, like we've had Siri, we've had the Google Assistant, we've had all kinds of stuff like that. But it really hasn't evolved for a while. So this next AI step in the cars, I'm thinking like you'll truly be able to get to a point in the near future here where you could say, hey, help me pair my phone. And not only can it walk you through it, but it can walk you through it. So all you have to do is the phone commands and it can process, like, you know what I'm saying? It can actually do things within your infotainment.
I mean, you're getting close to that. At least with Apple, you have like Siri. So like Siri is integrated with our cars now where you can say, hey Siri, find me the nearest Starbucks or something like that. But even like the voice prompts are pretty good. Even on the vehicles, you could say like same thing, find nearest Starbucks. Take me home, or tune to channel 104.5.
Sure,
but satellite 55.
Those are ones where you have to give a very specific prompt, though.
But it's easy.
Yeah, easy for us because we've been doing it. I'm just saying, like, it needs to get to a point where
you just say whatever. Like right now, exactly, it only recognizes certain prompts.
Because exactly. As where if you were saying it to like an AI assistant, then it would create that prompt, give it to the vehicle.
Like I'll do that. I'll pair a phone to somebody's car and instantly they'll go, okay, I'm going to try it out. Take him to McDonald's. It's like, hold on. You got to say it this way. You got to say it.
Navigate to.
You almost have to. It's already pre-scripted for you.
Yep.
In the prompts. But yeah, I think AI would be, it's more loosey-goosey where you should be able to say kind of whatever, Well, and like,
help me pair my headphones.
Well, it's like with some of the Jeeps, you can say, hey, you connect. It's like, I'm feeling warm. I'm warm. It'll turn on the air, or you can say make it cooler, make it warmer. So, I think that's kind of integrating already. But
that's that's not necessary. That's kind of old stuff, though. I feel like the Chryslers have had that for like 4 or 5 years.
Chrysler's old. No offense, I work there. I get it.
But I don't know. I think some type of way that we could integrate that into like the vehicles as far as like, because they don't call it as
Like
a salesperson.
coach. Yeah.
Coach. There you go. I think that's a good way to put it. The vehicle coach. Where when you just don't know what's going on, or sometimes like there might be a setting that's been turned off forever, right? And the customer doesn't even know that it's there. Maybe something that, and then, hey, do you know that this is off? I noticed you do a lot of this and you have this off. Did
or
you
like
know this is off?
with a feature that can be turned off is like, especially in Wisconsin with the colder climates where your remote start the car and the heated seats automatically turn on. You can turn that feature on and off, so there's a lot of things. Or like the easy exit seats on a memory. If you hit a button, when you shut the car off, the seat retracts all the way and everything. Some people like that, some people don't. Sometimes I'll preset that stuff, and even I'll make a mistake. I'll forget to mention like on a delivery that I did disable this or enable this. I'll usually say, hey, I kind of set everything kind of by default a little bit, and I'll kind of walk through them. I turned this off, turned this on, and they'll say, yeah, I like that off, or could you turn that back on? I'm like, cool, perfect. So that way, whatever you try to tailor it to them, and there's so much tech, but at the end of the day, some people don't need. You'll have someone that'll buy this big fancy car, but necessarily they're not going to use 100% of it. So you just really tailor the tech around them,
I do have something to talk about that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Very sad, very tragic.
Canceled Subaru altogether, or what?
No, Subaru is uncancelable. Speaking of,
as long as there's granola in the world, Subarus will thrive. No offense, Subarus, we love them too.
But people have talked about it for a long time. And just from like browsing, so I was doing a project where I was just like going through like AutoTrader, Cars.com, and just sorting least expensive to most expensive, most expensive, just looking at different things. Yeah. Do you think that the affordable car is pretty much gone out the door?
Well, how do you perceive an affordable car?
A reliable
what you think is an affordable car and what I think and what the viewers at home think, that could be different.
So, I mean, to me, an affordable car would be anything. No, I guess, you're right. I'm looking at it from a retail perspective just because we've been in the business for such a long time. But I'm thinking affordable would be under $20,000. Just because the mass market is going to finance that vehicle.
Well, I mean, I think it exists, but it's not, when I financed my first car, it was 2001, I think, and it was a Volkswagen Golf. It was a 95 Golf, and it had 40,000 miles on it, and I think I bought it for like 11,900. And I financed it through Landmark and had a $181 car payment, That's when you could get a car that was a few years old and, had good miles. That same car now doesn't exist. You can't walk in and get, short of, are there, special ones out there that do exist? Yeah. But for the most part, you can't get a $10,000 car anymore with under 50,000 miles. That $10,000 car has over 100,000 miles, with the exception of, is there a random cream puff that we'll get in that was like, garage kept and everything.
Shout out to the Mitsubishi Mirage.
Right. And
or a Fiat 500.
Those cars, they don't exist because it's just the market's changed. It's cars get more expensive, that everything just adjusts altogether. So, and then you got to think of, and that's just the price. Now you're thinking of, is it affordable as far as a ownership costs? Hey, I bought a car for $12,000, right? It's got 130,000 miles, Malibu, right? I got a really good price on a Malibu. It's a 14. It's got 140,000 miles, but I got it for $10,000. Okay, well, now what is that car going to need? Now you're spending this and this and this, your water pumps and tires and brakes. So you may have gotten it for a lower cost, but you're spending more, so now your $200 monthly payment is really a $500 monthly payment with all the maintenance you're doing on it. So that's why I'll tell customers, spend a little bit more. I'm not trying to take your money. I'm trying to get you to spend less to save you money. I'd rather spend more on something that doesn't need where the ownership costs are less, at least in the first 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Maybe the reason these are a little bit more is because all the stuff that you're going to have to do has already been done.
And it's not the salesperson. We're not lying to you. We're not trying to say spend more. I mean, go look for yourself. Like you said, go to cars.com, go to, AutoTrader, plug in, a budget of price point of $15,000. You'll see what cars are there at the price point.
And salespeople aren't paid like real estate agents. Just because the price is more doesn't mean the salesperson makes more. At most of like our stores, for example, they're on like a volume based plan where for the most part, I mean, do you care whether they buy the $10,000 car or the $15,000 car?
No, take your money either way.
No,
I don't care if you want
just want to sell the
or,
car, right?
I don't
you
care
just
if you
want
want
a
a $10,000 Malibu or if you want a $100,000 TRX.
Right, we just want to sell the car.
Just want to sell the car. That's our job. We just had a meeting about that the other day. You know, the boss is like, he just gets mad. He's like, you know, it's all these variables, right? What is your job? Sell the car. That's it. That's all you got to do. So it doesn't matter what they want. You know, we'll tailor it. You know, you want this? Cool. Let's get it. You want this?
But
cool.
I do think that's an interesting thing that pops up a lot that I hear people that aren't like, when I talk to friends, family that aren't in the car business, yeah, they just assume that, oh, then the salesperson, you know, is going to show me something more expensive because they want to make more money. It's like, well, that's not necessarily the case. Like, not really.
I was talking to a friend last night, actually. I was actually talking to him about the show we're doing, and I was helping him move. And he always says, you know, I've been selling him cars for years. And he always says, yeah, you guys are going to take my car and, you know, taking it on trade and make 20 grand. No, we're not. I said, if that was the case, I would have retired 10 years ago from doing this.
Right.
I said, it's that perception. But then, you know, if you get a group of people talking about car dealers, it's like that mob mentality. We're all bad. We're all this. We're all that. But then when you have that one individual at your desk or that one individual, like a friend that you're talking to at lunch or something about the car business, that conversation goes drastically different.
Right. Absolutely.
They understand it. They get it. They chuckle with you. But when you get them in a group, it's, well, we're all bad. We're all out to get you. No, we're not.
Now, on the flip side of that, there's plenty of salespeople out there that just have a super giant ego and want to brag.
There's horrible salespeople out there across the country. Not with Kunes, not with Kunes, but yeah, there's bad ones out there for sure.
So I can understand why some people probably think that because they probably heard a salesperson say, "Oh, I made 20 grand," blah blah blah. They're just trying to impress the girl across the bar or whatever the case. But that was their way of doing it.
And you know, you could also have where the customer that came to you that is very defensive and everything. Sometimes I'll ask them, like, you know, did you have a bad experience last time? And they'll say, yeah, last weekend my wife and I went to go look at this Wrangler, and the guy was, he was this and this and this, and so yeah, if you have work with a bad salesperson, and if you go to the next one, they automatically think that you're the same guy.
Right.
You're just that same guy with the slick back hair and all this. Not me, like I'm losing my hair, but they're all coming out, and we have the same goal, but they have a dirtier way of doing it. You know what I mean? And then once you break that barrier and all that, then they realize, hey, you're not all bad.
Right. Well, and there are also dealers out there in the world that they want to pay their salespeople strictly on commissions, and they know that they're not going to make any money because it's a different market with the internet. People have a really good idea of what a car's worth when you walk in to buy it.
Especially new cars. It's
different. New cars, you can look up
cars.
Invoice
It's all transpoint. Yeah, you can look up invoice on it. But even pre-owned cars, it's
you have an idea.
You have an idea, but there's also costs involved in making cars, right? And we've talked about that before. What's this car going to need when we took it in on trade? So there's a lot of that. But the better you are at educating the customer on that process and why the car is priced this way, you've now built value in yourself because now you're transparent. Now you're being honest. You're not BSing the customer. You're not. We're just here to make money. It's like, no, yeah, I know you think it's worth $5,000 less, but here's why it's not. And then if you deliver that properly, then they understand it. You know what I mean? Then they're not so, give me a discount. You guys are bad. It's like, no, I get it. That's why it is priced that way. Yep. But that's the biggest thing, man. You have to deliver it right. You deliver it. Now they trust you, which is very hard to obtain with a customer a lot of times.
Oh yeah, I mean it's an uphill battle as a salesperson trying to get a customer. Because and I get it again because we've met so many of them through the years. I can understand why some people are hesitant with car salespeople because you have a bad experience that sticks with you. But yeah, I think that's kind of one of the better parts of the job is you get that customer and you take them through the process. And they're like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe we're able to make this happen. Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah.
And then you forget to pair their phone when they leave.
Yeah, not me, but people do it every single day. Today, right now, in the United States, somebody's delivering a car right now and the Bluetooth is not paired.
It's not paired. They drove off in their $200,000 Mercedes and the phone didn't get paired.
Yeah, and if you are a customer out there and you bought a car, your salesperson did not pair your phone, you need to call them right now and tell them how bad of a salesperson they are, that they need to try better.
Well, I've had that too. Like, I've had customers that, it's a weekday morning. They'll roll up to the front of the building and they'll say, hey, can I have someone that can help me pair my phone or show me how to do the nav? I had a guy that didn't know how to adjust the clock, right?
Yeah.
And I will immediately ask, and you'll ask, did you buy it from us? No. And then you kind of, you give them a little hard time. Like, why not? Blah, blah, blah. And then, you'll walk them through it. And I'll go into it like I'm delivering the car. You know what I mean? Some people don't. Some people are like, yeah, I'll pair it. Okay, bye. But I'll kind of like say, do you have any other questions or anything like that? I've had it to where certain customers will remember me. They'll say, hey, can I grab your card in case I have further questions? Some of those have turned into sales where they'll come back. Maybe not. I'm not saying they're coming back the next day going, oh, my God, you helped me. I want to buy a car from you now. But like maybe 6 months down the road, or they brought in a referral. They're like, just doing that act of helping somebody is, you never know where that's going to take you. It gained me a few sales.
Sure.
And that was that. All that started off was pairing her phone, showing her how to set a destination. And her and her husband bought a car for me. It was like 5 months later.
Yeah, and here, you're a better person than I am for doing that. Because I'm telling you right now, where's the camera?
You don't do that.
Hey, if you did not buy from Kunes and you pull up to the building asking for how to pair your phone, you better not see this face because you are not going to get.
Luckily for you, he's not in sales anymore. He's in the marketing, so it's
still
fine.
Just make sure.
Whatever happened to always a car salesperson?
I will gaslight anybody.
Yeah, you will.
And I will gaslight you and maybe still not pair your phone.
Well, thankfully, you guys, you have me and you have a wonderful staff of salespeople within the whole Kunes auto group. So,
for sure. But we're just so great. Come find us before you buy the car, you scallywags.
Yeah.
Did you have any thing on the top of your mind that you wanted to talk about? Otherwise, I have one last thing.
No, I'm just excited for the end of the year stuff. Like I said, in the last show where, Black Friday, Christmas, all that stuff. It creates that different buzz. You have a lot of businesses that are coming in that try to get their vehicles for tax write-off purposes. So it's always an exciting time of the year because it goes fast.
Flies,
and then January typically is a little quiet. Actually, not in the last 3 years, at least for me, where usually January and February are kind of like the quietest months of the year. It hasn't been that way.
I'm going to agree with you there, yeah.
So, but if you got to think, like my boss said this the other day, we look at like March as being so far down the road, for example. It's really not. You got 90, 120 days, we're back in spring. So this is all, it's fast now. So before you know it, we're going to be advertising tax return season stuff and all that, and the weather's breaking again. So sometimes the winters in the car business, they feel really short, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an exciting time, just different.
When is it too early to put up Christmas decorations? I've seen people put up I've seen Christmas
October.
trees. Okay, so you think
at least with my family, Christmas tree always went up like a day or two after Thanksgiving.
Yes, thank you. That's a perfect time.
I mean, if you go to Menards right now, yeah, it's full blown Macy's Day Parade in there.
I know, but
it's too early.
But if you have your Christmas tree up during Thanksgiving, that's just too much. That's just too much. I don't know. I've driven by and seen I still see Halloween decorations on some houses.
This is a curveball.
Well, it's really been bothering me as my drive into work. I see Halloween decorations at one house.
When do you think they're going to put a Christmas tree up here at HQ?
Soon. I think Greg asked about. Yeah, Greg. I heard him ask yesterday when the decorations are coming.
They should put a big tree up here. That'd be cool.
I'll tell you what. Whatever he thinks is a good day is a good day.
Exactly.
But
I
can't imagine. Again, same street, two houses, Halloween decorations on one, Christmas on the other. It's not even Thanksgiving. I'm like, guys, get it together. I'd rather have no decorations than a mosh posh. It's just come on.
So when do Christmas decorations come down then?
I think the first.
Yeah, my family has always been that first week of January.
Yeah, I think the first. I feel like that's something that's acceptable to leave up during New Year's. Makes the New Year's extra a little more festive.
Some people do it where part of Thanksgiving is like part of the tradition, like while they're having dinner and all that is they'll put the tree up that same night.
Yes. Yep.
The transition.
I love that. I actually maybe take that one up.
Yeah.
I think that's completely fine because it's the closing of Thanksgiving. Like, why are we overlapping holidays? Let's not overlap holidays. Let's let each holiday have its spotlight.
Well, Halloween didn't even feel like it was here. I don't know if it's just us getting older. Holidays don't.
I don't think we're getting too much older.
When you were a kid, I'm getting old. When you were a kid, it was a big thing, but now it's just another holiday. But I think the weekend before Halloween, I thought that was Halloween because I was like, why is everybody dressing up? And then it just wasn't a thing. And okay, done.
Yeah, I mean, we went trick or treating, but it was just kind of I mean, Halloween's one of those. It's fun to have fun with it when you want, but it's
Yeah.
also nice that you don't have to take it too seriously. Like if you don't want to pay any attention to it at all, you're not really missing out on life.
No,
but
it's
you can
fun.
also dress up if you want to live out that furry fantasy.
Yeah.
Like I did. I had a full body onesie sloth that I was cruising around in.
That's kind of when you just like give up. Just kind of just put on a onesie and deal
Yeah.
with it. You notice a lot of adults do that though.
It's the easiest thing.
I went trick or treating with a good friend of mine,
And they're
Zach.
warm.
I went over. This was 3 years ago. Zach, he invited me over for Halloween because they're all going trick or treating. Well, all the adults, they drink and all that. So all the adults were in onesies, regardless of whatever shark. I was a shark, but it's easy. It's comfortable. You're walking around with a beverage of your choice, But yeah,
yeah, and like I said, it's just one of those things. It's fun to be part of it without having to be too much part of it.
Well, we got. I was gonna say too. When I was talking about how everything gets exciting for the end of the year, I think we do a food drive as well. The biggest thing at all of our stores, at least in the Walworth County area, the Toys for Tots thing. I think I talked about that. But if you feel so inclined, please donate a toy. I know the Ford store. They have a beautiful truck that they're trying to fill the bed with.
Oh, nice.
Toys and food. Nico did a video on that. It was pretty cool, and then inspired me to do one. So, we have a Jeep Gladiator on the show floor. We want to fill that up. We want to fill that up. I think it runs now through. They think they pick it up December 9th is when they pick the donations up. So, if you're in the area and if it's a new toy, please, we'd love to have you bring it in and throw it in the bed of the truck, and then it goes towards a good cause. So I mentioned that in the last video, but I just wanted to bring that up again. So,
and is that Toys for Tots?
Toys for Tots, yeah.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we run over and get a video for that. But yeah, I think that's a super cool thing to be a part of. So the Ford store, you said, is doing it in Delavan, and then the Chrysler store in Elkhorn is.
Oh, we're going paintballing this weekend too.
Whoa, a little team building.
Come video that.
That would actually be fun.
So they did
Sunday though.
Yeah. So with our store, they did I forgot what the contest was, but they broke us up. They broke us up into teams. And, the winning, they did a point system, cars, and this and this and this. You added up points. Well, I was on the winning team with the other people, but now it's just kind of everybody's going. So they basically, the big boss is taking us paintballing on Sunday over in McGuanago at Siege Paintball.
Yeah. That place is awesome.
Yeah, 34 degrees should be great. I think the last time I paintballed was 2010, and I was mediocre at best at that point. So
I feel like they have an indoor spot at that place too.
They have I think they got 6 or 7 different fields, and then they got some type of indoor makeshift building. But that should be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope you have a good weekend, sir, and I hope you guys have some good fun.
Yeah. I'll see you guys on the next one.